Probably you can see them on all bagel or something like that.
Oh, how did you see something on the bagel fight?
You're the boy.
I think it's
You're the boy, you're the happy.
you write it really big, it'll take the whole thing. I'm a good writer though. Oh, I know. I can write. He's sitting there writing like this. So I'm creating a movie. Like the setting.
You want to hear something?
I'm leaving a cliffhanger. All the water's coming off filtered and it's in the drink.
Where?
It's been there a while. That is all the water's getting that filled.
One, two,
Somebody's
three,
originally all from rice and milk. It's still some of the water. That's what I was wondering.
They melted, wouldn't it be?
But I guess no one drank it.
One, two, three.
Well, no, she said it was filled with ice. Just thought it was old.
I was going to know if I'm gonna do that all over again.
Okay. So who's this back?
Oh, so,
It's a cliffhanger on that. It was a big thing.
Who are these people thinking is
and he said, this is my best friend, and my mother is You know what? I took mine too. My deal. You didn't have any trouble finding me. No.
How you doing? How you been?
See you, you gonna be a Queens boy?
Yeah, that's me.
Go team.
I'm in.
I heard
Yeah,
your
I'm going
play
Queens.
was wonderful, I heard you were terrific.
I felt like Queens, everyone's mother. Everyone's mom or dad.
What are you doing? Just zooming? Okay.
Come, I want you, I think you know some.
Watch out, he's doing some camera work.
Michael's waiting until late for London.
Probably hanging from a cliff. That's my cliff. I'm actually a literal cliff.
Yeah, he has it.
Coffee's in one car.
Where he is right now.
Are you getting an ounce away? I don't think it's spelled right. Did you see Katie? What is it? Oh, I don't know what he's doing.
He's, Mom, he's going to the
Indiana.
You really have.
I got it.
I know a lot about Lois. But my mom is very Hi.
Hi, Wayne.
This is my mother's very, very close. And everybody got his mother very
Nice shirt.
You're just doing the montage.
Oh. Good to see you.
It'll make it a lot more, it'll seem action packed.
Jason wrote one line.
Why are you staring at that wall? It's a weird family.
Okay, yeah. That's so good. Gotta see. Too late. Surprise. He doesn't love Early opening the door. Early opening the door.
He's looking at me, I'm like,
I don't think he knows. Say hello. Go in there and greet him. I think he's in there greeting.
Okay, don't blow over
hey,
there.
Bobby, how you doing?
How sweet.
Wave hello.
Hello, camera.
Love that camera.
Daddy,
The guy opened the door, Poppy, you're staring right at me. I don't know who you are.
look at Harvey. Yeah, yesterday. Michael.
Happy birthday.
So me and Michael Fresh used to
What the hell, huh?
I don't think so.
Think he was surprised?
I think the other way.
That's when he saw his first line.
Yeah, no.
Daddy's
That was like a whole thing.
how do we just go all the way down? Usually go all the way down and it's hard. No.
Maddie, come here.
Hi, camera.
Maddie, real quick.
Because he makes it.
Camera loves you.
He saw me and Michael first.
This is Poppy's 80th birthday.
Got something to say? Say it.
I said it. This is Poppy's or Norman's 80th birthday. Were you nervous all day?
Happy birthday.
You know? We all said surprise.
Well, when he opened the door, I had
Okay, how are you doing? Yeah, doing all right, yeah. So you're still playing? Yeah.
I'm all done.
When do you get?
I worked hard and now I'm just I think they're starting to come in right now.
Norman, what are you doing here?
Good idea.
Good luck. Why aren't you mixing?
How you doing, Bobby?
Hello, Florence.
Alan, I'm so glad you have this. You know, because besides
Look, Mom, look. See the balloon? See the balloon? Okay, so you're surprised.
Yeah. Me and Adam set up
I don't think she knew about that.
I apologize for kicking the camera. There's a viewing audience everywhere. Sorry about that.
All right.
So everybody everybody
Make good.
if I was born, you know, they were dating, right? Yeah. Eddie wants to know what that feather is. I said, I don't know. Yes. I don't know.
Not really. That's right. I had it Sunday.
It's like tights and toys. And some of mine.
Turn on the music.
nobody calls me.
No, she just told me to take the kids. That's him. I didn't really want to freak out. We have a nice place for you. And then we have Maddie. It's right. Julie, I put her on. You're in charge. I'm so glad. No, she is going to say that night.
I had a reservation, I had to get a cancellation number, because she might be sweating up, she's crazy, and my nephew.
It's really, I told your mom if you want to bring some, bring some. That's right. So mommy's getting there, mommy's getting there. I didn't see it's right here. Somebody turned around. There's a party. Like, and she realized that why was she saying, Mike, can you stand with, what do you think when Jason stand with the cameraman?
Like when
Katie,
gonna have camera?
stand with that. Jason, just normal, just normal.
Look good.
I look like this. Mom, why do you think you should be like?
Enough for you.
Yeah, right. That came on last night. Take salad. Start eating. Yeah, you're probably wondering why we didn't get the gifts today. Well, I gave it. Did you watch it?
Good music, huh, Dad?
Mom, you can eat now.
Is this new? Is this new? Is this tripod new? I guess
There's a boy with something to eat.
That is very good food.
Looks pretty good.
It does.
Well, right there in the picture.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But she's a delicious one.
You don't need salad. You
No, did you hear from Yogi Berra?
Nice, right? Very nice.
You guys want these? Russ, you sit here.
Six in a row, is that it?
There you go.
Alan, you should eat.
I will.
Packing up the supplies, coming over you. Come around. Here, she has good hair.
Getting pieces of people throwing food in
Wait, Steph, she's a great sweet.
there.
Yeah, y'all gonna talk.
No, Melanie's terrible. I have to write everything.
Did Michael come back, Bonnie? You're welcome, Laura. We're glad we're here tonight. I'm glad he's here tonight.
Encore.
There they are, thank
Now,
you.
here comes Larry.
Larry, look at
And
Larry.
Larry's not here?
I can shout it. Yes, Larry.
Well, you know he does.
Here's Bob.
I went the wrong way. Don't need chicken left?
Yeah, there is.
And Anyway. He's my
I don't know how
guy.
much film I have left.
Julie, play my girl.
4 years, it's gonna be 56 years.
No, I can't.
No, it's 6 years. Anyway, the children have prepared something, so on we go, but we thank you,
Thanks, everybody.
All right, Dad, go sit down.
Sit down.
Let Daddy sit right there so I can.
Let him have a seat in the middle, so.
You know what? Some things never change. Norman's the father, but the kids tell Norman where to go and what to do.
You're gonna make me cry.
Try not to. This is just something from my dad on his birthday. I hope I don't cry. Every time I read it to my mother or my sister, I did.
So loud.
Can you hear me, Alan?
you talk so weak, so no,
Right
Daddy.
here.
Wow.
Turn up the hearing aid, all right?
Michael, we've been waiting for you.
Okay. When I was just a little girl, my hero was my dad. There for me, no matter what, in good times and in bad. He taught me how to throw a ball and how to use a bat. We'd have a catch when he came home. Nothing could top that. He never said no when I asked for help. He always made time for me. Homework, quizzes, science fairs, he helped out happily. Then I became a teenager, and my hero was my dad. There for me, no matter what, in good times and in bad. My dad was the carpool dad, driving me around the St. George Hotel, the Maccabee, to friends all over town. My sweet 16, the Rambler, having to choose a college. Many choices and decisions to make. I needed his advice and his knowledge. And then one day I became a mother, and my hero was my dad. There for me, no matter what, in good times and in bad. Motherhood brought untold joy, yet sometimes I was stressed. But Poppy was there, a constant rock in my life, a mentor, a teacher, the best. Later on, when I remarried, my hero was my dad. There for me, no matter what, in good times and in bad.
That's okay.
Sharing this wonderful time in my life with a dad I adore and treasure. Watching him light up when the family is around is a mitzvah, such a pleasure. So today, we're all blessed as we celebrate my very special dad, our hero, and therefore all of us, we're grateful and so glad. Happy birthday. Bobby.
Very nice, Marcia.
Katie said I'm a good rhymer.
I said everything rhymes.
Mine is long, so.
Should have saved.
I can't, you got me going.
I hadn't started
implying just me and my dad. My dad and I have a very special relationship. It's almost as if it's our own little secret. My dad is not loud and boisterous. He is a quiet and sweet person, and so smart and so clever. He's also my stationery supplier. Be it papers, pens, or glue sticks, all the grandchildren know. He's forever at the ready, always begging somebody, anybody to take his pens from his house. As far back as I can remember, it was my dad that you could always count on. If I needed a ride, not only was my dad available, he would always be there early so I wouldn't have to wait. One icy winter night, I was working in Manhattan. My bus ride home from Manhattan to Bay Terrace became a 3-hour ride, and this was the day before cell phones. And there was no way to contact my parents to let them know I'd be so late. I would be so late, but when the bus pulled into my stop, 3 hours late, there was my dad, waiting for me in his nice warm car, just like I knew he would be. It was with my dad that I had my first job, and I worked quite a few years, part-time and full-time, and in the summers with him. We had a lot of laughs in our carpool rides, like Dad and Lenny Flick. And I also saw him the way other people saw him, and how much they liked and respected him in the workplace, and it was a great time. For all that my dad has taught me, there's one aspect of our quiet relationship that can be quite loud. My dad introduced me to the game of baseball, and here is the tale. As a new team was forming in Flushing, Queens, a Yankee hater from the Bronx was introducing his young daughter to this new team called the New York Mets. He had her watch baseball games on TV, got her to understand and love the game, and he even took her to Shea Stadium where she got soda spilled on her from the tiers above. Right, Dad?
Cold,
On a cold day. She became a Met fan and a Ron Swoboda groupie. She had a ball with him when his beloved team won the World Series in 1969. I'm sorry to say that this young daughter would grow up and break her father's heart. Not because she stopped loving the game of baseball, but rather she fell in love with someone who loved the Yankees. And through time, she began to realize that the Yankees were the team to love too. To this day, the daughter asks her father over and over, "Why don't you come over to the winning side? It's so much more fun." And he always answers, "Never. Losing builds character." Every time. Even his grandsons and his granddaughter have the same love of baseball, all Yankee fans too. But in spite of our differences, we've been known to cheer for Poppy's team, and Poppy still hates the Yankees. We also have a special memory of a long-ago night in Madison Square Garden when the New York Knicks won the championship game. I never knew a place could vibrate like that. We had a lot of fun that night. When Major League Baseball introduced interleague games, it was a natural that our family would be interested in the Subway Series. My dad won 2 tickets to the first ever game between the Mets and the Yankees from FAM. He called me and he asked which of my two sons he thought, I thought he should take to the game. And I thought about it for a while, and then I said, "Forget them, I want to go." So Dad and I went to Yankee Stadium, and we had a great time. We sat in the seats in the last row of Yankee Stadium. That was the first time my dad to sit in Yankee Stadium. And we watched as our 2 teams played. I loved just having this time alone with my dad. And when I called, this is the part that gets out. And when I called to tell my dad that his grandson would be in an all-star game and wanted to come, what a thrill it was for him to see his Yankee fan grandson playing in his beloved Shea Stadium. So as I sit and write these memories of my dad, I know in my heart that I have a sweet, wonderful father who is Major League all the way. Yes, the Mets beat the Yankees. That's right.
Not that you remember, right?
No, who's counting?
Doesn't happen.
Come on.
My daughter came.
No, he's reading his own.
Very nice.
My father. When I was little, my mom, Poppy, Nanny, and I used to go to Central 21. While my mom and Nanny were paying, Poppy would go with me up and down and up the escalator. Never mind going up and down so many times. When I was really little, my mom, Poppy, and I had something special. We called it 1, 2, 3, wee! But what happened is, my mom would take one hand, and Poppy would take the other hand, and swing me back and forth 3 times, and they would jump me off the curb, and I would say, wee! It was only when we were going to the store and when we went off together. Whenever I need school supplies, Poppy is the one to get it from. Whether it's pens, pencils, glue sticks, tape, post-its, whiteout rulers, permanent markers, and many, many more, he has it 24/7. One time, it was the summer before 3rd grade, and my mom, Nanny, and Poppy and I went to a furniture store. And Poppy and I sat down on a couch and started to talk about 3rd grade. The main things we talked about were, can you guess it? School supplies. He asked me what I needed, and I still remember what it was. Tape and a notebook. Another time when I was around 5, I slept over at my Nanny and Poppy's house because my mom and Dad went out somewhere. I had a T-ball game that day, and I was on the pitcher's mound, even though I wasn't pitching because it was T-ball, but I got to stand. The ball got hit to me, it was a ground ball, and I threw it to first base and I got an out. Nanny and Poppy were in the stands cheering me on. Poppy was so proud of me that day, and I was so glad that the both of them could be there. Whenever Poppy would always take me to the dollar store in that shopping center. One time, I really wanted to go to a farm. Poppy wasn't feeling well that day, but he still went for me. Okay, Poppy is the only one that will be my Poppy, and I got an acrostic home. P is for protection, O is for outrageous, P is for popular, P is for playful, and Y is for you're the best. Happy 80th.
Oh.
One together or what?
Julie, you can speak separately.
Yeah.
You let them take the food out.
Poppy, you are the man. You are the best Poppy a grandchild could want. You're the coolest and slickest Poppy I've ever met. For all you who don't know, Poppy can tell you when the light is going to turn green, and he's colorblind. I have no idea how he does to this day. I really don't. Like, unbelievable. Poppy can also bike ride with the best of them. He and I used to go bike riding on the Atlantic City boardwalk while Nanny was winning her millions, obviously. And Poppy can fly. Poppy can fly. Poppy also tells the best stories. That one with Michael and the bologna sandwich still gets me to this day. Michael with the bologna sandwich. It's one of the best stories Poppy's ever told.
I do.
You know what that story is. I'll also never forget the looking for the water tower on the way to the beach club with everybody. Nanny and Poppy, great times. Poppy's always been there to make me laugh, to talk sports with me, and be the perfect role model for me one day when I have grandchildren of my own. Nanny, you have the perfect husband. Mom and Bobby, you have the perfect father. Myself, Julie, Jason, Michael, and Katie, we have the perfect Poppy. We love you, I love you, happy birthday, and stay classy. Love that.
I think anyone can get up here and say anything and you two would start crying. This is just a stupid story, but when I was little, Carolyn knows this story, I think is probably the only one. When I was little, I used to think certain men who were of a certain age were my grandfather. I thought Chuck Scarborough was my grandfather. I thought that the mayor of Munchkin City was my grandfather. I don't know why. I thought that my pediatrician, Dr. Cohen, was my grandfather, and I thought that Mr. Rogers was my grandfather. A few years ago, I realized this was the case. And I didn't even realize that I thought this until we were watching The Wizard of Oz with Madeline. And I said, I used to think that guy was my grandfather.
Remember?
So, obviously I realized, hey, so obviously I realized that's not the case, and I'd rather have you be my grandfather than any of those people, especially the mayor of Munchkin City, because I think I'm already short enough. But, happy 80th birthday, and I love you.
Hey, Julie.
Stay classy, another line.
Stay classy. First of all, I just want to say Adam stole my shirt. Those are my kind of shirts. When I think of Poppy, the one word that comes to mind is unselfish. He's always put his family first, especially us grandchildren. I've always enjoyed the holidays together, but what I've always appreciated most is the alone time that we have spent together. I've always loved Poppy's subtle sense of humor that comes out when you least expect it. Even if he loves the Mets, we love him just the same. The Yankees are better. As much as the love he has given me, I can tell he's always appreciated the love I have given back. Like the times he would slip a $20 bill into my pocket and say, "Don't tell your brother." Oops. You know, you can always count on Poppy for a free shirt or extra supplies from his workbench. His giving ways have not gone unnoticed, and I will always cherish the time we spent together in Poppy's giving nature. Enjoy your birthday. You don't look a day over 25. And thanks for everything.
Ready, Joyce?
Oh, yeah.
You've been writing notes for the
I have, yeah, well, you know, I want to start off by saying it was kind of hard to go last because, well, at first I was joking that I was going to, copy up other people's cards and stuff, but it came out that without looking at Adam's card or Michael's card, except for the first sentence, I said many of the same stories, and I want to apologize in advance for repeating other people because, we all have the same loving bond with our grandfather, and I want to say that. And then here's my card, so I just want to apologize in advance for repeating what other people said. My Poppy has always been there for me. He has consistently been a quiet presence throughout my life, and has always been someone I can count on. He took me to get my first bicycle, and I'm still learning to ride it. So, and without should have prepared this. And without a doubt, at any and every time I have ever needed any supplies, be it pens, pencils, Post-its, or staples, I know all I need to do is ask my poppy and he can hook me up. So,
And if any of you need, just let him know.
I'll never forget going in the closet in your old house with all the pens and... Anyway, here's another story someone already said. My poppy's also a magician, believe it or not. He could point at streetlights and change them from red to green. On top of that, I've seen him pull his thumb clear off. I want to thank my poppy.
That's right.
For being there for me over the years, watching baseball games with me, taking me to stores, and I just want to thank you. Happy 80th birthday.
Shall I go?
Yes.
Good job.
I tried.
I didn't write anything about paper or pens or anything like that.
Oh.
I got.
There's just a few things that I would like to say about Norman and our relationship over the years. Start with, he and Florence raised the love of my life, my beautiful wife Barbara. Audience participation as well.
I told him to say
Good?
that. That was good.
My 3 kids, Jason, Michael, and my favorite, Katie.
Thank you.
They couldn't ask for a better grandfather. He's always given them anything they've ever wanted. And also, and he's always had plenty of love to share with all his grandchildren. They all are very lucky to have a man like him for a grandfather. As a father-in-law, he is unsurpassed. He's always there when I need him, and our relationship has grown over the years. Probably the strongest bond has been formed around the game of baseball. We're both big baseball fans. However, there is one problem. You see, Norman is a die-hard Met fan, for those of you who don't know that. And I am, let's say, a casual Yankee fan. Now, this shouldn't be a problem. After all, baseball is just a game. And it is just a game, but most Met fans like Norman, seem to be hung up on who's winning and who's losing. It seems to be very important to them. I don't really understand that. It is true the Yankees have won 26 World Championships.
You can't believe that.
But that's just part of the natural order of things, like when the sun rises and the sun sets. Just how it is, okay?
Aww.
You see, I just like to watch the games. I don't really care who wins. It's not important. It's not that important. The Yankees play their home games in a cathedral, Yankee Stadium. Yankee Stadium, the house that roof's built. As Art Rush Jr. used to say, the big ball orchard in the South Bronx. As a kid entering the stadium, I was in awe. Right? Put that right there.
With my glasses.
Put on your glasses.
Time out.
He didn't bring.
The famous Yankee Stadium facade, all right? The monuments in the outfield, it could almost bring a grown man to tears. The Mets have a cute stadium, Shea Stadium. They painted the outside purple and the seats are orange.
The poppy's not line.
It's cute. It's kind of looks like the circus is in town. It's really a cute little stadium. The Yankees wear traditional pinstripe uniforms. The players look regal as they step out onto the field. The Mets have that blue and orange thing going on, which I just can't understand what they're going for there. Anyway, it's just a game. It's just a game that Norman and I have bonded around, all right? Today, we are here to celebrate Norman's 80th birthday. And I'd like to say happy birthday, and may we continue discussing baseball for years to come.
You know what they say, never go on after children or dogs or animals. Hard to follow an act like this. I'm up here because I have to talk about a man who's been in my life a very short period of time. But the amount that he has been in my life is unforgettable. You see, this is the story of a family that is really unbelievable. When I met Marcia, I was amazed by the family that I met. But the story that I can most remember was when I first met Marcia, and I decided, that was the night that Ross and Stephanie got engaged. And I decided in the middle of everything to then go back to Marcia's house, which I promised I wouldn't do, and meet her parents. So what was interesting about this was that on my way to driving back driving to Marcia's parents' house, it was really strange because I'd been in another marriage, and I had a father-in-law before, and I knew that at some point I was going to end up with Marcia. And I said, my God, I'm going to have another father-in-law. And I said, after having the first father-in-law, having a second father-in-law is unbelievable, because you don't really think you're going to have two father-in-laws. So when I went to meet Norman, and he walked in the room, I was like, I had such trepidation. I said, my God, I'm going to meet this guy for the first time. And he walked in, and Norman looked like he was 6'8". And my heart started to pound, and I figured that he was going to walk over to me and say something like, okay, tell me all about you. Tell me what you're all about, because after all, he's going out with my daughter. But Norman was just the opposite. Norman walked over to me, and the minute that he shook my hand, I knew the type of individual that Norman was and is. Because as everyone in this room knows, when you meet Norman the first time, he doesn't say very much. But he has this presence about him. He has this class that he doesn't have to say very much. Just the way he is says the way he is. And as the years went by, to see the way he interacts with Carolyn and Ross and Stephanie and Scott, anybody he meets, he doesn't have to say much. You just know the type of man he is, you know the type of person he is, and you know that this is a quality guy. So I didn't write anything today. It goes to show you that all week Marcia kept saying, you gotta write something, they're gonna want you to say something. I didn't have to. I really did not have to. It was so easy to walk up here and just express myself, and express myself to somebody who defies description. I just want to add one more thing, not to put it down on this day, because just the fact that everybody's together here today says it all. Norman is the type of guy that the minute you met him, like I said, you couldn't help but fall in love with this man. And my parents, when they first met Norman, they walked over to me, and Florence for that matter, they walked over to me and they thanked me. I couldn't understand it at the time. They walked over to me and they said, thank you for introducing us to such lovely people. And my father and Norman had such a special bond. It was amazing from the minute they met. They both went to D-Wood Clinton. They were both Met fans. You know, that orange and blue color thing?
What is that?
They just hit it off because they were just both gentlemen. And that's the way they are and they were. When my father got sick, Norman called me on the phone. This is just an example of what he's all about. And he said to me, Harvey, I'm going to take your father to the hospital whenever you need me. And he said, by the way, I want you to know that I'm not doing this for you, Harvey. I'm doing it for your father, because your father is my friend. And I never forgot that, and I never, ever will. So with that, we're going to end this on a happy note, and I'm going to say, happy birthday, Norman, and I love you very much, and I only hope at your 85th we'll be doing this all again.
Of all these speeches, it seems to me he's a hell of a lot better guy than I thought he was.
If anybody else would like to say something? Anybody else want to say anything? Eden. You're up. But you're up.
George, I guess I could just say that we know Norman our whole life, and he's been a very big part of our life, and we love him, and I'm so happy to be here to celebrate. And I just, I'm full of, you hear me, I'm full of love and
Alright.
Okay.
Party.
So now we're gonna have cake with a whole bunch of candles. Julie, want to put some on music?
I like those candles.
yeah, this one, I like this one. I'll do this one.
Okay.
Can I do one?
Yes.
Come here, Carrie.
This here, and then one here.
Okay.
You want us to sing?
We will.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Say one, two, each,
I can see.
each one is 10 years.
Yeah. And one to grow on. One for this here, one for next year. Oh, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and one here. No, not on the here. Yeah, right there.
Oh, that looks good.
Okay. We'll put 8.
One more.
No, we'll just use 8.
Oh, all right.
Wait, a 9 for, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, and
So
one
you
for
don't
the
need
glove.
these?
No, everybody here.
I can't bring two things.
If I smile too much, I might get stuck this way.
One, two, ready.
Let me do it again. Just one.
I like that color.
Nice. Smile nicely.
I'm gonna show you
You gonna sing, Maddie?
Manny, we're gonna sing.
You know how to sing Happy Birthday?
Nice and loud.
Nice and loud. Okay.
Okay, look.
You're anything like your grandfather, it'll be loud, nice and loud.
Maddie, you want to come see the cake?
You wanna go see the cake?
Maddie, you wanna see the cake?
Wow.
Oh my God. 9 candles.
Who's counting?
Got a lot of.
Get in there, Mike. Let's sing.
Where we meet
I've heard
for
you
the
sing.
9
You're pretty good.
Use the other candle.
I like to sing, I'm not good at it.
Like Hanukkah.
Think everybody else here is?
What's the big one called?
Shamish.
Tell the 80s
It's like that.
Now there's two.
Just like
All right, then.
Okay, here we go.
Well, we're going to sing. Wait, no, we have to sing. Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Normie.
Happy birthday to you. Wait, Normie, not yet. 1, 2, 3. Go ahead, Normie.
Can you breathe out?
Never seen anyone do it so fast.
And you want the other song? Who's after that? Happy birthday.
Another.
Birthday success.
Here at the Patchogue Diner.
We're not going to what we call it, shop.
Anything to say, boys?
He's very good.
Have a nice time.
I'm just glad we came to the Hop Hog Diner. Palace.
Palace. It is a
For such
palace.
a joyous occasion.
Great place. I like the balloons.
Hop Hog.
Nice decorations. The presents are great. Cameraman, he's very good. He doesn't shake much.
I just like hugging myself.
She likes hugging me.
I like hugging myself.
Harvey did a great job. He just did the whole scene. And over here. Hey.
I'm done with you. You got too long-winded.
Just say happy birthday.
I heard.
Johnny, look, we're on the video. Happy birthday, Normie.
Okay, who'd like some coffee?
Oh, yes, thank
Anyone else like some coffee? Yeah.
Katie. Say goodbye. What do you want to talk about?
Everyone should say the meds.
Sure, everybody speak up. I got to stay back here so I can fit you all in. Go ahead.
You ready?
We get close. Go on.
Go on. Is there an audio? Yes. Happy 80th from the old gang. Right.
Larry?
Remember the pioneers, Normie? We were something in those days.
We still are.
Just a few years ago.
I remember the pioneers and I watched them play, right, Norman? Happy birthday, Norman. Yeah, right. This is a wonderful birthday party. So happy to be with everybody. Love everybody.
Norman, what do you have to say?
It's our pleasure, Norman.
Happy birthday, Poppy. We love you.
I've got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. I got a song that I sing, I can make the rain go. Anytime I move my finger, lucky me, can't you see I'm in love? Life is a beautiful thing, as long as I hold the string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go. I got the world on a string, sitting on a rainbow. Got the string around my finger. What a world, what a life, I'm in love. Life is a beautiful thing, as long as I hold the string. I'd be a silly so-and-so if I should ever let it go.